Today on This Week in Startups, Lior Ron is here. He's the product manager behind the amazing new HotPot by Google. One of our viewers is going to take a swim in the Shark Tank, and Kathy Choi is back to read the news. Her fans are going to be happy, huh, Tyler? All this and more right now on the 100th episode of This Week in Startups.
That's what it's all about, man. They said money is the root of all evil. What? Funny how it feeds my people. Yeah. We ain't gonna live like equals until we get the money, spend the money, and defeat you. Yeah. Money is the root of all evil. What? Funny how it feeds my people. Yeah. We ain't gonna live like equals until we get the money, spend the money, and defeat you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome, welcome. Tyler, we made it to 100 episodes. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Twice a week. It doesn't take so long.
Yeah.
Man, it's amazing. 100 episodes in. We probably did, what, 30 Calicanis casts back in the day? I don't know, 2 dozen?
34, I think.
34 of them?
35, yeah.
So we've been doing podcasts for a couple of years now.
And there's some gems back there.
There are some. People don't realize that Evan Williams and Biz and Ron Conway and a bunch of gems.
Oh, that Ron Conway one's awesome.
Fantastic. We got to republish some of those.
Jay from Dig.
Oh, yeah, Jay Adelson from Dig. Yeah, a lot of good ones on that. Boy, a lot going on. Where do we even begin? Mahalo's on fire. Yeah. You've been very busy. I've been very busy. The launch conference coming together amazingly. I've been on doing 10, 20 phone calls a day. I mean, literally, I don't have TechCrunch to stand behind with. That was a very convenient marriage because, it ended in divorce, but it was a great marriage for the time because we had this beautiful platform. But now I have to sort of build the platform, and it's amazing. People don't know how amazing the event's going to be. Over 1,000 people, February 23rd and 24th. But I've been talking to everybody, and man, I'm going to have some amazing judges and angels there. I basically had an epiphany the other day. If I invite the top 100 VCs I know, the top 100 angels, and the top 100 startup founders, and the top 100 press people, and tell them, hey, you could be my guest at the event. It's 400 people, right? Then that'll draw everybody else. So I was like, I'm just gonna invite my friends for free, and they're all taking me up on the tickets, and the people coming, amazing. So if you would like to come, just go to launch.is and sign up. And you may have seen today, we launched the first, moments before the show, the first Launch newsletter. So Launch is going to have its own email newsletter, and it's going to focus on, what else? Product. Product, product, product. Everything in our industry is a reflection of product. And actually today's guest I had on because, I saw the product and said, wow, there's something incongruous here because this product is beautiful and has a little bit of fun to it. And it looks like it's got character. And most Google products, let's be honest, they feel like they're designed for efficiency, not for character, which is part of their success. Right. And I said, this is quixotic. And you actually found the HotPot founder, and we're going to have Lior on in a minute. But I sent the email today, and how did I send it? MailChimp. MailChimp. I do monkey sounds every morning now because my daughter has a book like Mommy and Monkey or something, and I read this monkey book every day. But I also send on MailChimp all the time, and it's free to sign up. You get 1,000 subscribers for free. So that's going to be like 90% of the audience. So go sign up for MailChimp and thank them on Twitter and just say, hey, thanks at MailChimp for supporting This Week in Startups 100th episode. And they announced their own $1 million integration fund. And this is the brilliance of MailChimp, because I have a feeling they're making a lot of money. I offered to invest in it. I offered to introduce them to angel investors. And I said, I'll join your board of advisors, whatever. How can I help? I love this product. Talking about great product design, incredible product design. Right. And you know what they said to me? Thanks, but we don't need any money. We don't need any investors. And we're just putting our heads down. I was like, oh, my God. I really want to invest in this company. Well, what they're doing is they're investing in developers. They're putting out $1 million integration fund. You make something with their API, and they'll give you money. So it's like Y Combinator. You apply to them. They may give you 20, 40, 50 grand, whatever it is. Go to their website, and you'll see. But they don't take any equity. So you don't have to give up the 6%.
Right.
Not that 6% of Y Combinator is any big deal. I think they're well worth it. So they're accepting applications from anyone interested in building integration in MailChimp. If you're a developer, just go over there and do it. Thank you at MailChimp for supporting This Week in Startups. With me today is Lior Ron. He is the product manager of Google's Geo Search, serial entrepreneur. I think you were part of the Mossad we were talking about earlier, or a jet pilot in the Israeli army. And actually, look at that. CTO of Israeli intelligence mapping and search efforts. So it was sort of like that.
Almost Mossad.
Almost Mossad. I was Mossad.
Of course.
I got the guys.
We can't talk about it.
We can't talk about it. But you know the guys Munich, the last guy from Munich. I got him. I got him in the market at 4 a.m. I was dressed as a lady. But that's a whole other story. We'll save that for the 200th episode. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
It's awesome to have somebody from Google on the program. So Tyler was showing me, hey, you know, Google's really building some interesting new products, and he showed HotPot. I'm going to bring it right up here. Let's just get right into product. And if you can pull up my screen, guys, in the rocking the TriCaster, explain to the audience the design of the product. Hey, guys, you got my computer up on the screen? Oh, reopen IVGA. Okay, hold on one second. We got a little technical problem. But while this is getting set up, tell us what was the impetus of the product? How did it start?
So HotPot is basically a local recommendation engine powered by you and your friends. So we make it extremely easy, which we'll see in a second, for you to rate the places you like. And based on your rating, we give you recommendations for other places you would love and make it very easy to share with your friends. So you can also get the recommendation from your friends. So you can think about it basically as sort of Netflix for places or Pandora for places.
And that's exactly the experience I had when using it. It felt like Netflix, felt like a very modern product. Talk about building a product like this that is not cookie cutter, Google, let's optimize for the certain shade of blue. Has something changed in Google that they allowed you to make something that is under the Google search umbrella, right? Certainly here it is, we're bringing it up. But that looks a lot different. And just as an example, here, it says Sweet Tooth, 493 ratings, 32 reviews. And I see I have all these cards here. And if I wanted to, I'm logged in on your account. But let's say I just said, hey, I love the Shangri-La, or Shut Us on the Beach is a great hotel. And 334 people, wow, that many people have rated it. And let's say you rated it 5 stars. I'm going to click on it. It does this beautiful animation where it flips over. You say what you love about it. You type it in. You give it some very quick, either happy or not happy binaries. Toggles, and you publish it, boom, the page didn't even reload. It's animated and fun. How did you get this launched inside of Google?
We just wanted to have some fun. I think Google realized over the years that not everything is search. And some UIs, especially a UI like this, justify doing something different. We want it to be engaging, we want it to be fun.
Yeah.
We want you to rate a lot of places and quickly sort of set your preferences so we can start giving you recommendations. So, the original inspiration, we started basically with 2 20% projects.
Yep.
One was for the recommendation engine itself. A bunch of engineers just built it over the weekend. Let's see what we can hack based on data that we have, what kind of collaborative recommendations we can give you in places. And then another group of engineers just built over the weekend a prototype of that UI. Let's build engineers. We didn't have any UI official person involved in it. Let's build some fun UI to engage you and make the trading fun.
How big was each team?
Very small. The initial 20% projects were built by 2 engineers each.
2 engineers each?
Yes. And then we just did the roadshow in Google for a few weeks. Everybody that saw both demos loved it. And we just combined those, and HotPot came along a few months after.
So 2 teams of 2, and you come up with some great stuff, and then you go on a roadshow inside of Google. Explain to me what that means.
I actually like to think Google in many ways is similar to the outside world, and being on both sides of the fence, it's very similar. If you have an idea, what do you do when you're outside? You don't have any angel money. You just start building a demo, find an engineer that is excited about it, excite him with just the vision, get him to build a demo, and then start exciting other people, excite engineers, excite investors, which are basically decision makers. So, we showed it to Marissa, to Larry, to Sergey, they loved it. Get some internal momentum, get excitement, and one by one, just get more enthusiasm and more resources, and basically funding and find your way to actually make this a reality.
So what is the process? Because I'm sure it's fascinating to people how a big company works, and it seems like Google is working better and better. Because there's also, is it the Find? Is the other one that just launched another product inside of Google, the image search, or is it Find? Anyway, there's another product that's very unique looking. Somebody in the chat room will remind me. How long is it between when you get Marissa and then you get to like Larry and Sergey? What is that process like? Do you just email Marissa? You say, hey, can I show you something?
Anyway, it's really, like the market. If you know people, that helps. But even if you don't know, Larry and Sergey still have, to the date, a product review every Friday where they meet people that want to do stuff and give their opinions and feedback. So that's always an opportunity to show new stuff, to get them excited. So it's everything from one-on-ones to cafeteria talks to giving presentations to group of engineers.
Wow.
Everything you do out there, you also do in there, because it's an internal market. People will not do this top down, but in the end of the day, it's a lot of bottom-up innovation. So if you want people to do something, you have to get them excited about it.
So had you met Larry and Sergey before when you brought it to them? I'm assuming you've met them before. And you show it to both of them at the same time or individually, and what's their response?
We showed it, I think, individually, and they love it. They love in the end of the day, what we're doing here is really putting a layer on top of search.
Right.
So we're making search personalized and social, and we're adding that layer of recommendations on top of search. Yeah. So I think they realized the potential early on, and basically, once you do those ratings, if you now go and do a search results, if you do a query on Google, on the actual Google.com interface for restaurants, so let's try restaurants LA. Okay.
Well, I just typed in one favorite restaurant, Ichigo.
Or just try searching for restaurants or hotels or whatever your favorite category. LA or Santa Monica.
Right, and so here is the...
And then click on the places. Right. On the left-hand side, there's a places.
Yeah, so but normally people right now are seeing the standard old, boring links and maps.
So this is relatively new. This is the new search layout where we, as you see, combine the photos, all the rich details we have about places.
Oh yeah, this is new. They put the map on the right here.
No, this is a new UI. So we keep... HotPot is really just another step in what we're doing with local and engaging business owners and consumers. So we done place pages, which is a place for every place in the world a few months ago. Right. Then we've revamped the search UI to this wonderful UI where you're seeing combines photos, rich details, opening hours, all the reviews from ELP search together with the website. Right. And the next step is to add really a social and personalized layer on top of that. So if you click on places and now click on the friend only on the left hand side, there was a friend only.
Friends only, yes. Yeah?
Now I see recommendations for my friends.
Which is, I see Tyler, you are great friends. And wow, look at that. I know Father's Office I've been to with Tyler. I've been to El Cholo with Tyler. I've been to all these places with Tyler, actually, because Tyler used to be my friend. Now he's your best friend, so you can steal best friends.
Well, I can see your recommendation as well. We should be friends after that.
Just for you is what?
This is personalized recommendations. So based on your taste and preferences, I hate sushi. I love Mediterranean food.
That's why you're getting Michael's and Ilfrenai and Shay Jay.
I will start seeing stuff that is personalized and unique to my taste and my place preferences. So HotPot sort of learn on my place taste, and based on that, start personalizing search results across Google.
And improve your recommendations up here. I could click that. And where does that takes me over to the HotPot interface.
Right, which is sort of the control panel where you personalize your experience and really bootstrap it quickly. But again, the important piece, I don't think many realize here, this is the control panel where you quickly rate, but everything you do is impacting everything across Google. So we've seen an example for Google search results, and we also have examples for mobile.
So how many ratings do you need to start actually serving me something interesting?
Very few. Very
Really?
few. So I mean, there's no official number. We
Right.
say 5 on the UI.
Uh-huh.
Rate 5 places, we'll start giving recommendations. The recommendations kick in after the first rating you've done.
Oh,
'Cause
wow, even if the
based
first.
based on every place. Essentially, if you think about it from the algorithmic perspective, which is really fascinating here, we build a graph of connected places. So if I like Gary Danko
Right.
in San Francisco, where I come from, we know that web pages and people and collections that have mentioned Gary Danko also mentioned all those other places. So if I like Gary Danko, I would like Michael Mina, I would like French Laundry, I would like all those other places that we just know are connected. So
Right,
the
and you
first
know they're
rating-
connected not just because of ratings, but you might know French Laundry and this other restaurant are connected because of search.
Exactly.
That somebody might have searched for both of these.
Mm-hmm.
So you have this amazing data set that you query, not just explicit information in the ratings, but you have this implicit information, this implied knowledge, because if you search for it, ergo, you must have at least an interest in it.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the beauty of it. So from the moment you start interacting, you get recommendations. We don't even need a single person in the system to start giving you those recommendations. So that's person's recommendation. On top of that, we put the social layer.
Yeah.
But those are completely independent, and I could not have any friends if I'm unfriendly, and Tyler wouldn't be my friend. But if I go to Los Angeles, on Santa Monica, I will still get person's recommendation for me. Or if I don't have any friends in Paris now, and I've rated by now, as you can see on my account, 450, 500 places in San Francisco, HotPot will learn that here's a bunch of places in Paris or in London that are recommended for me based on the places that I like in San Francisco.
Genius. Is this the first time Google has launched explicit, if you like this, you'll like that, explicit personalization recommendations like this? I can't think of any other example.
We've tried, and we're doing a bunch of those along the product line. So YouTube has, recommended videos on the homepage.
Okay.
And we have a couple of those examples. But I think this is really a unique example of trying to take it to the extreme and really building a fully personalized recommendation engine based on your preferences.
When you build something with an algorithm like this inside of a place like Google, which obviously has huge data sets, how does that work are you rebuilding the algorithm here from scratch, or is there an algorithm group that, sort of is the owner of this, search algorithm and the YouTube algorithm? Do you guys all share the algorithm? Is it one data set? I know it's one data set, but is it one code base, or is it separate code bases? How does that work?
The one advantage of being in Google is that you stand on the shoulders of giants. So this is done as part of the local search team and using all the local search data and algorithms and search results and ranking that we have.
Right.
So this is sitting on top of that. Again, like a market, so we want to do that, and then the YouTube people are also doing recommended videos. We meet, we exchange notes. We think, does it actually make sense for us to use the video recommendation engine, or we should build something separate and continue to compare notes? So we do that all the time, and then it would make sense to merge, we merge. What we try to do more and more over the time is, time is of an essence. So we want to get to the market fast, we want to innovate, we want to give it a try. So what we'll usually do is sort of do something fast, get something out there, see the quality, iterate, and then really decide if we want to merge, if we want to...
So do the simple step, quick step.
Exactly.
If it has traction, then do the hard integration of, How do you, when you're building a product like this, and you start thinking about sort of Google's role as a citizen on the internet, and Google's been really good about, hey, we're a search engine, we're not competing with content companies and this kind of a thing. When you're building the product, how do you be inclusive and say, hey, we know that there's overlap with this product and Yelp or City Search, et cetera. I see here Yelp is listed on almost every single one here for restaurants in Santa Monica. Does it come into your consciousness oh wow, well we're going to be frenemies or competing a little bit with Zagat or Yelp? How do you go about making sure it's fair?
No, absolutely. So it's very complementary. I don't think it's really competitive to that degree. As you can see on the search result page, count the number of links to Yelp or other sources. those guys, and we have great admiration for what Jeremy and Neil are doing. They have great content, and they have great reviews. And what we want to do on top of that is just add a layer of personalization.
Yeah.
So when I'm coming to LA, I can give you the recommendations for what you go. But then if you actually want to make a decision, that's how I chose my hotel for the weekend. I came here, I just flew from Portland. We'll talk about this in a second. And I didn't know where to go.
Yeah.
I opened HotPot, searched for hotels LA, got few recommendations from my friends, few personal recommendations, but then to really, like, when I dove into the results, I opened the place page where we have the Yelp reviews. I clicked onto Yelp, I clicked to city search, I compared, I read the long reviews, and then I made the informed decision. So this is, I think, very complementary ecosystem where we add a very thin layer on top. Quick rating,
Yeah.
It's not replacing necessarily the long reviews.
But it is something, in fairness, it is something new in the marketplace. So partners, and now listen, let's face it, Mahalo is a partner with your company, and we always think about that. Wow, we're building these topic pages. I wonder where Google ends and we begin. And it used to be, well, we have 10 links, and you're the links. Now it's, we have 10 links, and we have a little knowledge box up here that might have the next Knicks game or the stock quote. And you might also have the stock quote, or we're going to have a little personalization layer and some rankings, but you also have that. So I mean, I guess that's the art, is putting enough in that little thin layer is the subject of much debate.
Right. And just keeping the user front and center and thinking what's the best user experience that we can deliver.
Yeah.
And fortunately for us in local, we have great local partners, and that experience includes all those partners.
And you guys have no aspiration of being a content and community company.
A content? So
Definitely
again, this is not about producing that content. This is about producing those recommendations.
Right.
It's essentially the evolution of search.
Yeah.
It's a personalized, social, relevant search that will able to deliver that to content.
And do you have, and this is my last question on this sort of subject, but I know there's a lot of startups there, and it is always one of the things that they're concerned about, especially when they see Facebook, say, knocking off every feature every startup does and just making it part of the product and absolutely having no conscience about it. So I sort of feel like Google is a much better citizen, infinitely better citizen compared to Facebook in that regard. But is there a standard that is like, the Google standard of how to behave with partners and handle this, or is it just a sort of philosophy inside the company?
Exactly. I think it comes with a philosophy and culture and mindset.
Yeah.
We think about partners. Google got to where it got because the partner and building on the ecosystem and playing nicely with everyone, and it's just part of the culture. It's when I go in and do a product, I know that to succeed, we need partners, and I know that the best user experience will be with partners. So I think, it's not like top-level down guidelines. It's you just ingrain it through the culture and just understanding how Google operates.
Nobody says, you have to give this much real estate to them. Here, rule number 7 says this. It's just be good to the partners. So let's talk a little bit about being an entrepreneur inside of Google. Here you are on This Week in Startups, and talking about your product freely, talking about a controversial issue like partners and the relationship between them. Is Google changing a little bit in that regard, and maybe letting the people building products inside of it talk about their products? And how is the PR process in Google changing these days?
I wouldn't say necessarily there are significant changes. I think Google has always let people represent the product and talk about it. There is a move to, let people be more autonomous, and Google does understand at the end of the day, if they want to retain great talent and really have that bottom-up innovation, we need to inspire entrepreneurs, we need to motivate them, we need to allow them a venue to actually get their ideas executed, to build a team, and to get the message out in a very genuine and direct way. So I think that's part of that.
So when I asked you guys to be on the program, I emailed Karen and whatever. It's no big deal now. Like, just, hey, come and talk. And I think it's a great philosophy.
No big deal. And I mean, even for me as a product manager, this is part of me understanding the ecosystem, how partners react. I'll go on blogs and just directly comment for the bloggers on what they think about the product, just have a conversation. we need to have that conversation for the ideas to flow in, for the ideas to flow out. It's not have like a big wall separating those.
Being authentic gets you a lot of points in the internet, obviously in the startup community. Let's talk about launching the product. You were up in Seattle or Portland?
Portland.
And so you're launching the product in one market a little bit more than others, or you're focusing on that? Explain how you're doing your launch.
We're trying an interesting approach this time, like the UI, and we launched the product almost 3 weeks ago. Soft launch. We didn't do a big deal of it. We didn't have a lot of PR, no marketing. Just get it out there, get feedback, get rid of the V1 bugs that we always have, get something exciting that we can start scaling. And yesterday, we're actually studying that scaling approach. So what we're trying to do here, we know this is local product. And it's not only HotPot, everything we do in local. HotPot, Google Places, even our monetization products, tags and boosts, place pages. It's a local product. And for a local product to succeed, you need to engage the local community. You need to engage local users on the ground. So we started yesterday. I just flew from Portland where we kicked that off.
Yeah.
And we basically did a couple of interesting stuff yesterday in Portland. Everything from just a very nice small business event we've done in one of the local Voodoo Donuts. It's like the most famous Voodoo donut places in Portland.
We drove by it. Oh, no. Did we drive by it?
I've been by it.
Yeah.
It's a great place.
Yeah.
So we engaged small businesses there. We basically took over the Blazers game last night.
Oh, very nice.
So we had a nice event, and
I saw you gave out some nice T-shirts there.
The T-shirts there for the HotPot jackpot, and basically got the message out there for people to start trading and getting recommendation in Portland.
Yeah.
And the other thing we've done is to engage businesses, because that's really the major way to get that engagement. Talk directly with small businesses, with business owners. So what we started doing yesterday in Portland is to hand a business kit to small businesses all around town. So it's basically the Google small business kit. I bought pieces of it with me. I couldn't carry all of it on the plane. But basically, let's see what I have. So it has everything with...
And Google now has an outbound sales force calling on local businesses for this $25 a month subscription. Is this related to that?
It's related.
Yeah.
So on top of that effort, we try to make local money, and that's one of the local monetization efforts.
Yeah.
So everything from a packet telling you what this is, explaining you about Google Places, giving you background, personally tailoring to your business, to what I'm most proud of.
Hold it up for the audience here.
So this is basically...
Hard to see, but there you go. Yeah, just a little congratulations. Hey, you're on Google, and here's where you're going to be on the map.
That's the one that has a RF chip
Exactly.
in it, right?
So this is basically the new decal, the Google Store window decal.
Ah, very nice.
And
it works with the new Nexus phone has the chip you can...
Exactly. So you can see it in, but this basically have a small NFC chip embedded inside the decal. And when a business owner put it on his storefront, all that someone needed to do to check in or to start trading or to see the place page is swipe his Nexus S phone, which we just announced a few days ago, that have an NFC chip on it. And basically, the phone will detect that you just entered that business, and we can start engaging that user right there at the business. So unfortunately, I don't have the Nexus S with me.
That's fine.
It's a limited quantity. But
just send one for Tyler. He always likes to get a free product.
Exactly. But that's basically that. All you have to do is just put your phone on the sticker.
Genius. And so at what point do you launch Google Checkout and payments with that, and I can just pay my bill? I mean, that's obviously the...
That's a good idea.
That's not a bad idea,
I don't know about that, but I mean, another thing I wanted to show you is... Well, this is basically the bill holder. Right?
Very nice.
No payment yet, but if you're a business owner and just want to fund like Google souvenir, you can leave your bill here, and then there's a nice reminder to
like American
leave
Express. So you guys are
rating.
actually thinking about the local businesses.
Exactly. It's all about the local business.
Yeah. So this is a huge push for you guys. And as you're the product manager of this, I guess. So how involved are you in the sort of business side of it? Do you... Very. So you help design the actual business product? And what is the business product of Google Local today? I mean, everybody's talking about, oh my God, local is this huge market, and Yelp is crushing it, and Foursquare and Goala and all these different services. Everybody's very excited. What is the business of local? I mean, obviously it's Groupon, but what is Google's business in local? Is it just cleaning up your listing? Is that the business?
No, more than that. So the main product we have for small businesses is called Google Places. And you can go to places.google.com and claim your small business, like Tyler actually done 2 years ago.
Yes.
And this is basically the one-stop shop. If you click on the business part of that, so now it has HotPot, but it also have the business side of it.
Yep.
It's basically the one-stop shop for your needs as a small business. So you go there, you claim, this is just a fictitious business I have. You claim your business, you claim your place page on Google, and then you can do stuff from completely free. You can update your details,
your
make
hours,
sure your address,
phone,
phone number, photos. We even have an update that shows on Google search results, so you can add an update to just announce on daily or weekly or special announcement. So that's level 1. On top of that, you can start getting business intelligence and business insights on your business. So we have what we call a dashboard for small businesses on Google Places, where I can enter and I can see actually what are people searching, how did people find me in search. Which queries did they enter? Where are they coming from? Are people searching for me locally? Are they searching out of city? Where are people driving to my business, right? Because we have driving directions on Android or through maps.
So you might actually know the distance that people travel to get to my business on average?
Exactly. And I would know that 20% of my business is coming from Santa Monica, and 40% is from Beverly Hills, and the other 40% is from another neighborhood.
And you give that to the...
We give that for free.
For free?
Yes.
I wasn't actually aware of that. Wow. So that's pretty sticky.
So this is the free level. On top of that, we start to engage businesses to claim bigger presence on Google search results and sort of to engage your audience, and that's for pay. So the first level is tags. Basically think about it as the simplified Yellow Pages, where I just pay a fixed fee, $25 per month. And I can basically customize my search results on Google. So I can basically, every time I'm showing on Google, I can show a coupon, I can direct people right to my menu, I can direct people right to my website, I can highlight what I want out of a search result.
And how does then Google do the ranking of local businesses? When they pay, it doesn't impact the organic results. So how do they get lift then?
So tags doesn't impact the organic results at all. It basically allows you to customize when your results does show up, customize it. So if what makes my business tick is my menu, which is amazing, and I know I will sell people once they see the menu, or I will sell people once I see the coupon.
So it's an enhanced listing.
Exactly. I allow them to enhance the listing.
So you may stand out from the crowd a little bit.
Exactly. And then on top of that, we have and that's the third level, we have what we call Google Boost, which is for pay, and then you can actually advertisers on top of the search results.
Just like Google AdSense,
and that's
or AdWords.
Exactly, and that's sort of a lower end version of AdWords, where you pay to play.
How do you deal with all the spam going on in the local space? It seems like it's very much in flux, and there's all these third-party people who are sort of going out saying, like, I will fix your local, and I mean, there must be a very big noise problem because Google wasn't really in this market in a major way. Is it just a total mess right now with like a lot of weird people, like sort of like black hat SEOs trying to sell local businesses on?
Yeah, that's a challenge. The mess is always somewhere like threatening to come to main stage, but we're investing a lot of energies and resources in making sure that Google Places and local listings across Google are spamless and as genuine, as real as possible. So everything from just making sure that the feeds we're getting and the people that are claiming are actually the real people. So there's a verification process. If you claim your business, we'll actually give you a call, or we'll send an authenticated postcard for you. We'll make sure you are actually the business owner.
Yes, the authenticated postcard is the explain what that is to the audience, because that's really clever.
So we send, if you claim your business, we'll send you a postcard to the business address. We'll get that verified, we'll get it back, and we'll make sure that you're actually the authenticated business owner. and then we'll establish the relationship that will actually allow you on Google Places to start
'Cause if you
updating, changing stuff.
We know you're the
doing
actual
all of
person
that.
because you got your mail.
Exactly.
If you have a question for Lior, you can put it in the chat room with a question mark and then a colon, right, Tyler?
Correct.
Or you can ask it on Twitter and put #twist.
So that's business owners.
Yeah.
On top of that, we engage users with data quality. So not many people know that. You can actually go today and edit as a user everything on Google Maps and Google Places. It's sort of like a Wikipedia for places. So you can enter and change, and we have a lot of enthusiastic users who are sort of cleaning up neighborhoods, making sure that the businesses around them are verified and correct. So we have also a component of that helps us fight against spam, and it has a lot to do with reputation management and seeing, if I'm Lior and I've done 100 edits and all of them were approved by me, maybe I should be trusted versus some Joe Schmo that just like opened a new Gmail account yesterday and then one edit, and that's probably not genuine. So we're using a lot of signals and algorithms and reputation management behind the scenes to make sure that the data is verified and correct.
So what did you guys learn from the Decor, was it Decor My Eyes? The, I don't know if you remember the New York Times story from maybe it was 2 weeks ago, where, and then thankfully they arrested this guy, but basically this insane merchant who basically was torturing people and harassing them in order to get more reviews, just even bad ones, because the more people, it was sort of like link baiting, I guess. The more this person found, the more reviews they had, the more they moved up in search results. And so if they infuriated people, I guess they figured out a way to game the system. Infuriate people, get more love, get more links. Doesn't matter if you're good or bad. Any press is good press. Any press moves you up in the search results. What did you guys learn from that? How are you handling that issue?
So that's specifically not my team, so I don't know all the exact details, but I can say generally, the one thing we learned and we keep doing is respond very quickly. So even if the system was gamed within few weeks, 2 weeks I think, or less, we've actually responded, we changed the algorithm. So we've done that last week.
I think it was a week you guys responded to change
so
the algorithm.
we responded very quickly, the team worked very hard on it, and that sort of gaming is not longer valid. What I can say on local is that we look at many signals, and I gave some example of signals we're looking for the recommendation engine. There's dozens of signals that we're looking at, so it's pretty hard to game the system. And even if you game on one signal, there's a lot of other signals, like because we have so many users, that we can really make sure that those results are up to date and correct and are not that gameable. The last piece on HotPot specifically, what I like about it, and one of the design principles, it's not that easy to spam, right? Because I control who my friends. So Tyler is a friend. Tyler wouldn't start to spam me in my search results.
Right.
So those are only friends I control.
Yeah.
And also the recommendation engine, those are places that I liked and I'm getting recommendation based on. So the meaning of, this place is like 655 reviews and like some people spam those reviews, it's important, but it's a bit less important because it's personal now for me.
Social
and even
trumps the text on the page and the inbound links.
Yeah.
And do you think ultimately that's what happens in all of search, that your friends and your social graph will trump inbound links and other authority? Do you think it's the number one thing?
I don't know if trump, right? So it doesn't trump by definition, actually. Like Tyler is an expert for Santa Monica. It should trump, but like like some random friend I had that been here once, and maybe it wouldn't trump, right? So it's another signal we're looking into to weigh in the system, and it's definitely a sign of things to come. I think we said that we want to add social layer on top of a lot of Google products, and I think HotPot is a prime example for that.
It's very impressive so far. I don't know if you watched the program before, but we have a great segment called Shark Tank where an entrepreneur pitches us on their business. And so let's do a Shark Tank.
I need money. What I want, that's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. What I want. That's what I want.
Nothing to be scared about. We talk about product on the show. So if you're a good product person, and you are, you can hold your own. And so we're going to get to see another product right now. Nick, are you on the line?
I am. Hey, Jason.
Hey, where are you calling from? The 414, I see.
I'm calling from Chicago, Illinois.
Ah, the Shire, as we say in the hip-hop game. Calling from the Shire. And so you're on Shark Tank. You know the rules. You're going to have 60 seconds to pitch myself, Lior, and Tyler. We're going to rate you on a scale of 1 to 10 for your pitch and a scale of 1 to 10 for your idea. And people in the chat room, of course, you will rate them as well, and you can just put a number/number or idea, the number, and et cetera, et cetera. Are you ready, Nick?
I am ready.
Okay, so begin your pitch in 3, 2, 1.
ExpertBids.com is a professional services marketplace. Our site allows individuals and businesses to get free, personalized bids from lawyers, accountants, and consultants. Our site is easy to use, and let me give you a use case scenario that may be applicable to your audience. Let's say a startup needs a trademark. They may not know A, where to find a lawyer for this, and B, how much this would cost. Our site allows them to post this need. Then, interested lawyers can come onto the site and send the client personalized bids with the amount of the bid and the professional's profile. This profile includes information such as their license information, their educational background, their areas of practice, and also any past client reviews the professional may have received. Based on this information, the client can choose the right lawyer for them. We then charge the winning service professional a small fee. This process is the same whether the client needs a lawyer, an accountant, or a consultant. We feel ExpertBids.com provides an easier and more transparent way to find a professional service provider.
Okay. You did your pitch in exactly 60 seconds. It's a great domain name. ExpertBids is an awesome domain name, so your domain name gets probably a 9 or a 10. It's going to actually do great in SEO, even though Google says keywords and domain names don't matter. They do in a secondary way. Google's not going to. Lior will confirm nothing about search because they don't want to give any spammers any heads up on how it works. But I will tell you that when you have, expert or bids or some keyword in your domain name, it might make people, when they look at the 10 results, it may attract their eye to them because they're looking for an expert, and it feels professional. That's a domain name that might cost $25,000 if you had to buy it.
Well, not quite that much, but
if you were buying that on a market,
you could sell it for that much.
You could sell it for that much, certainly.
Okay.
It's certainly a 5-figure domain name.
Okay.
Now, your pitch was good. It was clear what you did. So I give the pitch probably an 8. And the idea in terms of business, clearly these are professionals who will pay a lot of money for lead gen, and lead gen is a great thing. But what I didn't hear was why this is better than just doing a local search for somebody or asking a friend for a referral. It doesn't have like a social element of, trusted. So it sort of feels like you're taking my bid and just selling it to the highest person. I don't buy the personalized part too much. And so I feel like there's other products out there in the market where you might be able to get a better result, like asking a question on Quora or Twitter or Facebook, like, hey, does anybody have a lawyer referral? So I think you have a little bit of an issue there. So the idea, I'm going to give a 7, 7.5. Tyler, what did you think?
The pitch, a little scripted, and you were using like a passive general phrasing, like you didn't get. I would go into more story-specific use case mode.
A little personal, and there was no great example.
Right.
Okay.
There was no inspirational story like I started this because, and so when you were listening to it, it became a little monotone.
Right.
It's a good point, Tyler.
But I would use the actual most common use case in this particular pitch. I'd say Joe is you have 2 people, Joe and John, and Joe's a lawyer, and he has trouble doing this because you're really servicing 2 people, right? The experts and the people looking for the experts.
Right.
So you craft a story where you use Jim and John, and Jim's a lawyer, and he has trouble finding people. John needs to find a lawyer, but he doesn't know where to go, and then you take that example. So besides that, I would spend a little time on the design of the site because this kind of service, people are going to make a quick judgment when they land on that page about just how reputable the experts are that are in your system.
Yeah.
Right? In your marketplace. And they're going to make a snap decision based on the design of the site.
Yeah. The design's not bad.
No, it's not bad, but
it's all firewalled. So like for me, this is one of those things where I instantly walk away from the site because I'm like, I'm not going to give my information because I don't see any information. But I don't see the profiles of the people who are here.
Put a face on this would be my first quick snap suggestion. Put a face of the best expert you have in your system on the front page. This is Joey Jimmy from Chicago. He's an attorney, and just so people get the idea. Oh, okay, this is the kind of person I can expect to see in here.
Yeah. So Lior, what do you think? What do you think of the pitch? What do you think of the idea?
I like the name.
Yep.
I like the market. I think it's an interesting market. Service providers, it's still unsolved, so that's the good news. I don't think we have yet an eBay of service providers, so There's a bunch of people out there. Red Beacon is one interesting example,
Sure.
Googlers that are, we've done service providers in Google Places that are trying to address that. So I think the market is interesting. What I missed from the pitch is, and the biggest product challenge is just bootstrapping. You're trying to build a market, but then it's unclear why would the service providers come if you don't have a critical mass of users, and why would your users come if you don't have a critical mass of providers? So it's a bit of chicken and egg. I think that's going to be the biggest product challenge.
And I actually, this site is sort of a spin-off of, I actually had two sites previously. One was lawbidding.com and the other was cpabidding.com. And we actually, I mean, we had thousands of lawyers from all over the US sign up for that site. And, you know, we had hundreds of clients in all the states. So, you know, we started to build that critical mass on that one. And what we did with this site is just sort of consolidate them and also add in other service providers. So
I think you're in the right zone. Cool. The execution folks are wondering, and I think you're up against, competitive set is always important. Red Beacon, which has a really nice process, let's say, and of course, Mike and I both selected them to win the last TechCrunch 50. And another site that's really interesting, Thumbtack, which I invested in, which was an Open Angel Forum site. You know, it instantly, to Tyler's suggestion, I'm pulling it up here on the screen, they've got the people here who are actually doing the stuff, big, beautiful photos, and what they do is they make you feel safe by verifying the folks that they're not on the, that they have their address, that they have their driver's license, and that they're not child molesters or on sexual predators or whatever that list is. And if I was looking for somebody who, you know, did lawns or something, and in this area, I'm instantly going to get some results that I can start thinking about it. And some prices. So I sort of feel like the competitive set you're up against could be difficult given the model you have. What did the people in the chat room think? Can I get the scores from the chat room? Maybe we could scroll backwards in the chat room because I missed it.
yeah, and I mean, I guess what distinguishes us from Red Beacon and Thumbtack is that we're really just focusing on the professional service providers.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going after photographers and you know, trainers and things like that. We're solely focused on the professional service providers. So
Okay, great job. I see in the chat room 88, 86, 88, 86, 67, 78, 79, 77. Yeah, people liked your pitch. You got 1.5,
Great.
but generally people liked it. Well done and continued success.
great, thank you.
And one thing that will make you very successful is DNA Mail, DNA Mail. Everybody loves DNA Mail. Let DNA help you succeed in business by moving your mail to the cloud where it belongs and get their Google Apps or Microsoft Exchange hosted email services. Google Apps is a partner with them. It's free activation, it's free setup, it's free 24-hour support right here in Los Angeles from people that care. 99.9% uptime guarantee. Do not let your business suffer from subpar communication. Sign up today and take advantage of their 30-day free trial. I'd like to personally thank DNA Mail for sponsoring This Week in Startups, the longest-running sponsor. I don't know if they did all 100 episodes, but they came in. We got to figure that out. Maybe episode 10 they came in or something. And they've been incredible supporters of the show. And we really couldn't do it. I mean, you don't see it here, but there's literally 4 or 5 engineers here and producers outside the studio who make the show happen. It's a lot of work. We actually have a makeup person that we have come in because we're moving to HD and all this kind of stuff. And DNA Mail and MailChimp make all that possible. And they just provide great service. So if you're using that Microsoft Exchange or Google Apps engine, go right to DNA Mail and get all that great support so that when you have something go wrong, you have a phone number to call. It's kind of important, Tyler, if you're running a business. Thank you at DNA Mail. Take a moment to thank at DNA Mail and at MailChimp on your Twitter account, and we'll pick somebody right now before the end of the show to win a free ticket to the launch conference. It's a pretty good deal, huh, Tyler? Let's do the news. You're almost done. Nice. We do like 3 or 4 news stories. This is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Okay, Kathy, you're back, and boy, did the chat room miss you. You've got a loyal following already. Your
Really?
Twitter numbers
Thanks,
are going
guys.
up. People are really becoming fans of. And what's your Twitter account again?
It's Cat Quips, KATQUIPS.
Okay, everybody follow Kathy Choi on Twitter.
It is Follow Friday.
It is Follow Friday after
That's
all. What's in the news?
Well, WikiLeaks has been all over the news this week. 16-year-old boy was arrested in the next chapter of the WikiLeaks saga for attacking companies like PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, with a series of distributed denial of service attacks. The attacks seek to overwhelm websites and services by sending streams of meaningless traffic.
Yep.
So this young boy is just one of what authorities estimate at thousands of hackers who are a part of a group who call themselves Anonymous.
Yep.
A smaller segment of Anonymous has been orchestrating the attacks called Operation Payback. So even the U.S. Senator Joseph Lieberman and former Alaska Governor and Vice Presidential candidate Sarah Palin, sites have been shut down for a series of time. Now, what does this say about internet culture and the power of what is called hacktivism?
Yeah. This is all out of 4chan. For people who don't know, the 4chan website has a bunch of message boards where people sort of anything goes. And the Anonymous group was famous for attacking Scientology. They basically are very effective at getting their opinion heard. They also, 4chan started the Rick Ashley...
Rickrolling, yeah.
Rickrolling, you know, so they're very good at, it's sort of a playful group actually, in most cases. However, in this case, they're obviously, it's hacktivism and this sort of new transparent ethos of the internet and freedom of information, and information wants to be free, which of course was the tagline of Wired. It's religion for some of these young folks, and if a 16-year-old did this, that presents a major problem, because what are you going to do, arrest them and put a 16-year-old in jail for shutting down Visa, but you can't really shut down PayPal and Visa and not get punished. So I think they should bring him to me, and I will hire him immediately. Yeah, I mean, listen, the internet is very, very resilient, but it also, individual websites are very fragile. And it's very hard to make them scale. And when you get a DDoS, a distributed denial of service attack, it can be crippling for some period of time, and then you get past it. But boy, sign that kid up, and let's have him work on hacking into the Chinese servers like they hack into the Google servers. Lior, any thoughts? Would you like to officially comment on this as a Google representative? No,
Not
as
really.
an individual, what do you think?
I don't think I can offer him a job at Google, unfortunately.
Right, unfortunately.
Does hacktivism really work? I mean, if the whole point of WikiLeaks is to be transparent and provide an opportunity for people to be more open about what it is they're doing, I mean, isn't the reality that the response of the government is to completely shut down any use of social media, and even thumb drives now? The Army, I think, is just...
We can't read too much into the activities of 15 and 16-year-old boys who are technically adept and who have a lot of time on their hands. I mean...
But this is a culture. I mean, there's a hacker culture, even amongst anyone who is internet savvy nowadays, right? It's actually cool and hip to be a hacker. Mark Zuckerberg was on 60 Minutes talking about being a hacker. Everywhere around their office, apparently, it says hack everywhere. What is that culture about, though? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. If you're working for a company...
Just means to, make cool shit. Ooh. 51 minutes, 52 minutes in, now I got to spend $20 on these. God damn. Every time I curse on the show, I have to give $20 to this is like $60 into the drink fund. We're going to have to go for drinks. Sugar. Basically, it just means to build cool stuff.
Okay.
And these guys, when you're young and you learn how to use computers, and it gives you a sense of empowerment that you can actually impact the world. So when I was a kid, we did a lot of hacking, and it was, we did some bad stuff, but it was really about seeing if you could do something. And we did things like we broke into the public library, we physically broke into the Boy Scout headquarters to steal the cereal. This is the psychology of young boys. You want to feel like you can change the world in some way. Like, I have some skill, let me see if it will do something. And so a lot of this is like, that 16-year-old kid, he might have just been reading the thing, he's bored, he's between StarCraft games, and he's like, let me see if I can actually make a denial of service attack work. Boop! Oh wow, it worked. And the sad thing is, the kid could go to jail for 2 or 3 years, and it's very serious in terms of the laws we have now. And I had this experience with one employee here who had done some bad stuff, and he went to jail, and he's in jail right now, John. And we really have to figure out a way to educate these kids, like, just be careful if you do this stuff, because it does have ramifications. Like, you will go to jail. And you may go to jail for a year and it may ruin your life. But you're going to get a lot of sick job offers after that. So actually, it's sort of like either go to Y Combinator or do a denial of service attack and do a year in juvie and get a lot of job offers.
Jeez.
I don't want to recommend to any kids to go do this and get in juvie for a year. but I guarantee you got a six-figure job after you get out. Next
Wow.
story.
Well, Chinese video giant Youku went public this week. Youku leads China's video online market and has grown at a compound annual rate of 74% in the past 3 years. It's set to double over the next 2. So Youku surged 161% on its debut, the biggest gain for a U.S. initial public offering since 2005, when Beijing-based Baidu, owner of China's most used internet search engine, began trading. Now it's valued at $3.3 billion, which is actually more than AOL. It's trading at 94 times revenue, even after losing 25 million the first 9 months of the year. Jason, is this something that you would put where you would put your investor dollars?
I don't know. China is big, and video is huge. And I mean, Google buying YouTube for $1.6 billion was the steal of the century. And when they bought that company, their stock price went up 5% at the time. I think their stock price appreciated $5 billion. They bought something for 1.6. They got to buy Google for 10% of what it was ultimately worth, probably. So it's a steal of the century, which when people question Google on the $6 billion offer to Groupon, I say, like, cheap. You know, like if it's the next Amazon, that's cheap. And I think in this case, no, I probably wouldn't invest because I don't know the Chinese market enough to know. You know, China is just basically a lot of knockoffs of American companies, and American companies are not going to do well in China because the deck is so stacked against American companies. I mean, that's really the bigger story, is that China is so protectionist that they're more than willing to send their products to the United States. You know, Walmart and, you know, Target are filled with their products, but we can't bring Google or, you know, YouTube or other products into China without supporting, you know, human rights violations. And you can't even really build a business over there fairly. I mean, they'll just redirect your traffic from one place to the other, and, you know, it's a sad state in terms of globalization that YouTube is not the predominant one over there. YouTube, you know, in every other country, it's YouTube, because YouTube was first mover, so.
Well, you just can't get user-generated content in China, right? I mean, do they really?
You can. You just got to be careful, because one tweet can put you in jail for a year. I mean, you post the wrong YouTube video up in China, or whatever the site is called. Yeah, I would be careful. You know, if you videotape a protest over there, you could wind up in jail.
That's right.
Any thoughts? There's like 2 stories you can't comment on. There's like, we're hitting you 2 grenades. The PR people right now at Google are like texting, please do not answer that question.
Have you been to China recently?
No, although we do have a Beijing office and we are doing development there, so I think I will pay them a visit in the next few months. And there's great, I mean, one thing I would say, there's great talent in China, great technical talent that are doing amazing stuff.
I know they have their own version of a tech alley, kind of like a Silicon Alley. They definitely have a lot of activity.
Shanghai, huge activity. Shanghai is really the entrepreneurial base. We're going to do Open Angel Forum in Shanghai. I just think, you know, if you're going to participate on a global basis, it's got to be sort of a fair market. And I think actually the interesting trend you'll see over the next 5 years, 10 years maybe, is American companies getting bought by Baidu. And you're going to see those companies coming to the US. And when that happens, that's when it's going to become a really interesting market, because these companies are worth a lot of money. They have very great stock prices and cash hoards, just like Google or Microsoft here do. And you're going to see them buying American companies, and they will, just like NG Moko got bought by the Japanese company. So Japan has bought American companies for a little while now, but they will launch in the United States because we have such a great consumer market. Next story.
Netflix has joined some of the largest and most prominent companies in the world on the Standard & Poor's 500 Start Market Index, kicking out the New York Times in the process. The company is now worth $10.2 billion compared to the New York Times, which is worth about $1.4. It has also jumped in profit by 27% year over year last quarter, with net income moving to $38 million this quarter compared to $30 million in the same quarter last year. What does this mean for the direction of media in general?
Netflix is crushing it. It's a loved product. It's the right price and it's the right product. I have this problem where my wife likes to get up like 3 or 4 times during every Law and Order episode, and this is I'm like very serious. Like when I'm watching something like a movie or Law and Order, like it's like one sitting, nobody talks, nobody's allowed to talk when I'm watching television or a movie. Like if you talk, I will admonish you. I don't care, family member, whatever. Like there's no talking, and so, but you can't do that with your wife. So I have to pause Law and Order, and then what do? So now I take out my MacBook Air, and I've been watching the girl with the dragon tattoo in 20-minute chunks while she goes and makes tea and whatever. And I don't know how.
Multitasking.
how does it take 20 minutes to make a cup of tea? I don't understand. I mean, is she taking the tea leaves? Anyway, long story short, I can pop that open anywhere now. And then same thing happens. I have my iPhone. Like, you're never going to believe this, but it takes her a lot of time to get out of the house. So we're going out to a dinner party, and I'm waiting in my car. I still got the Wi-Fi network. I watched 20 minutes of the same movie in the car, in the driveway, waiting for her. Because, God, I'm trying to wait for her, and she's taking 20 minutes to pick what outfit. And I watch another 20 minutes. It is a wonderful experience, of course. iPhone, iPad, laptop, Google TV, all these things. And they are the little company that could, because everybody thought that business was toast. They're like, oh, it's going to be, everybody's going to crush that business. And they spent the money. And that's the future of Hollywood right there. I mean, they're the Google of movies. Yeah. It's a really great, you must love it.
I think they're doing an amazing job, and it's addictive to rate the movies and get in this like amazing depth of content that you keep discovering a new layer and a new layer every week.
That is a big part of it, yeah.
I spent 2 weekends ago watching for 4 hours movies about San Francisco that suddenly Netflix popped in my eyes. Oh, you like San Francisco and you've seen all those movies on San Francisco. Yep. Here's those amazing movies on San Francisco I did not know before, and I spent 4 hours just watching it.
I had the same exact thing happen to me with documentaries, because I'm like crazy about documentaries. And the other thing that I have now is I probably spend, for every hour I spend watching a movie on Netflix, I probably spend an equal hour reading about movies on Netflix. The community on Netflix, their reviews are so awesome. I mean, these people have written hundreds. They're like Yelp reviewers. Like, they must do this for a living. Like, they must be like full-time doing this, or they're working for somebody who's paying them, and they're writing movie reviews during the day. But so well written and authentic. What a great service. And the fact that they're paying for movies now, like, we're this close to them, like, the announcements coming out, like Sundance, like these 3 movies were bought by Netflix. Like, they're already starting to pony up money, and I think the future of independent film, actually, and I was talking to Solar from YouTube, and I sent him an email when he took over YouTube, and I said, you know, I was at Sundance, I said, no movies got bought at Sundance 2 years ago, like during the economic crisis, and I just emailed him and I said, nobody's movie got bought, and everybody's talking about how the fact that no movies got bought. You should just get like $5 million from Sergey or something and Larry, and then just give each one $50,000 or $100,000 to put them on YouTube for a couple of weeks. It'll be huge, and I think that's the future. Google, Netflix, News Corp, whoever it is, Apple, buying these films and building video libraries, or leasing them, whatever. And yeah, you want to watch a movie? Sure, they've already paid for it. And these independent films, they would be more than happy. There's a really cool company Ted Leonsis has built called Snagfilms, S-N-A-G, Snagfilms. And he also bought IndieWire. And what they do is they go to people who are independent film producers, and they have an old documentary they made 10 years ago. They buy the documentary rights for them, and they're decent films, like Super Size Me. And they go sell it to an advertiser. Really cool idea. That's interesting. Yeah, and then you can embed it on your site. So it's sort of like a customized YouTube experience.
Yep.
All right, last story.
Last story. Well, I saved the best for last. Today is the 100th episode of This Week in Startups.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Jason.
Thank you. It's oh my God. Wow. Look at this.
We all came with
wow. We did it. Happy 100th
episode, guys.
Wow, thank you.
Jason, congratulations.
Very good. Well, I'd like to thank the staff. What an amazing, it really has been a group effort, and mostly Tyler. It's been carrying the show for a while. But what a great job you guys have done. When we started this, it was basically 2 cameras and open microphones and just a disaster. And now it's become a very professional show with advertisers and an incredible team. So I thank you all. And we'll see you all next week on This Week in Startups.
Yay!
Well done.
Money is the root of all evil. Funny how it feeds my people. We ain't gonna live like equals until we get the money, spend the money, and defeat you. Money is the root of all evil. Funny how it feeds my people. We ain't gonna live like equals until we get the money, spend the money, and defeat you.